and they're education savings accounts. You can get these for your children, your grandchildren, even if you're an aunt or uncle and you have nieces and nephews that you want to start saving for college. These are great plans to have for those reasons. Making the contributions to these plans, it's not tax deductible, but you can still self-direct it and you can still partner it with your other investments that you're already making. So the application is actually really simple. I'm going to go through it step by step. This is the first page, and section 1, it's the depositor's information. So if you are mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, this is going to be your information right here. You're the one making the contributions to the plan, so you just need your basic contact information there. When you go to section 2, some people get a little confused on here because it does say beneficiaries. But this first section, the designated beneficiary, this is the child whose account you are setting the account up for. Obviously, that person is going to be designated at 100%, and we need all their contact information here. Below this, it says select the beneficiary type. Well, these beneficiaries, they're going to be primaries or contingents. Now, these are going to be the maybe other children that might inherit this account if something were to happen to the main beneficiary that this account was designated for originally. So you can add those names here, and that's just in case, of course. And you need at least one. You don't need two, but if you have one, they're the primary, they're at 100%. So section 3, the account funding. How much are you going to initially be contributing to the plan, and what's the date you're making that contribution? Now, a lot of people don't know this, but if you already have a Coverdell education savings account, you can transfer that account over to NuView and start self-directing that for alternative investments. So you want to put the tax year that you're making the contribution for here, and you could do a rollover. The only difference between doing a rollover and a transfer is that means you'll have to initiate it on your end and contact your original Coverdell ESA provider, and then they would initiate the mailing the check or sending the wire to NuView. But if you do it as a transfer, then NuView can make the request on your behalf. What makes it a lot easier, we can reach out to that original Coverdell ESA plan provider and try to get those funds over to NuView on your behalf. So that does make it easier. I always encourage the transfers and let us handle that part. But whatever is easier, it's really your decision here. Section 4, this is the responsible individual information. So basically, who's the legal representative of the child? We need a parent typically, so a mom or a dad. You want to put their information here. So this is not to be confused with whoever is listed here on the depositor, because the depositor can still be mom or dad or grandparents or aunts or uncles. This is whoever the legal guardian is right here. So that's what the difference really is there. And then you can select here if the responsible individual shall or shall not continue to serve as a responsible individual after the designated beneficiary attains the age, which is 18 years old. Or you can change it to where the responsible individual may or may not change the beneficiary designated under the custodial pursuant section. So you can change the beneficiary as well depending on how you select these boxes here. All right, so this is the fee schedule for the education savings account. As you can see, these are your annual account fees. It's $125 per account. Now, most education savings account are probably going to fall within this tier if you're just starting off a brand new one, which is $15,000 or less. So you'd only be paying $75 per asset each year. So if you make one investment, you're paying $75 plus that $125 a year. So you're paying a total of $200 a year. Now, if your account or when your account reaches $15,000 or more, then it's going to be $325 per asset. So that's when you'll see that increase. And it is billed annually as well as that $125. Now, there is a $50 application fee. Any overnight mail is $30. If you request paper statements to be mailed to you, it is $10 annually. Wire fees are always going to be $30 whether the funds are coming in or going out. There's a $30 wire fee. Any returned items would be $25. The fair market value for stale dated assets. So this is only billed annually if you do not update your fair market value form, and that is a $75 fee. There's a termination fee of 0.005% if you do cancel the account or close the account. The maximum that you would ever be billed for closing the account is $250. You can pay fees by credit card, or you can have fees deducted from your undirected cash, which would be the cash that's sitting in the account that's not invested. Or you can select one of the boxes down here, where if you only want your credit card charged, or only charge my credit card when there are no cash funds available in my IRA. And then you want to print and sign and date at the bottom. And then this is the adoption agreement, all the legal jargon you want to go through. Of course, you understand how the plan works. Once the plan is opened, you'll receive an email with the plan documents. Right here is the education savings holder account signature. Obviously, if it's a child, they don't need to sign it, but the responsible adult needs to sign it. So the legal guardian, the parent, mom or dad typically would be the ones to sign here. And then NuView would sign on this side. And before I mentioned, you can transfer an existing education savings account to NuView from another plan. So then you would fill out this transfer form. Section 1, the basic information. So you're going to want to put, I probably would suggest putting the child's information as well as a responsible individual's information and the social security that belongs to the child, because that's the only way that your plan provider is going to be able to find the account. So remember, this is going to be whoever is a designated beneficiary of the education savings account. And then whoever the current plan provider is, you want to put their information here and select the ESA box right there. If that were at another custodian like NuView and you're holding any assets in there, then you're going to select option 2, which is in kind. So say you have a note that's holding, an ESA that's holding a mortgage note in there, then it's going to be an in-kind transfer unless you're planning to sell that note and liquidate it to cash. Most of the time, if you are moving anything over, it's going to be in cash already. So option 1 is probably the most common. You can send the whole account to NuView, or you can send partial. And if you're doing partial, we need to know exactly how much it is that you want to move over to the NuView self-directed IRA. And then, is it going to be a check or a wire? Do you want us to request it standard mail or overnight mail? If you are moving assets in kind, we need you to list the assets here and what the most recent fair market value is worth. We'll also need a recent statement from your previous custodian with the fair market values of what that asset is worth. And then you want to sign and date. Remember, all signatures must be original pen signatures. Do not use any e-signatures. If for any chance the previous plan provider requires a medallion stamp, we can do that here in-house for you. We do have people on staff that can do the stamp. They might meet with you via Zoom or FaceTime, and then you can mail it to us. Or if you're local, you can come by the office. We can do it here. Or you can go to any local bank, probably one that you already have an account with. I'd set an appointment ahead of time and let them know you're coming in to get a medallion stamp so they're ready. All you'll need is the ID, most recent statement, and you'll need to have this stamped, and you'll not sign it until they're in front of you and they witness that signature. So that's real important when it comes to the medallion guarantee stamp. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap this tutorial video up. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to the NuView team. We're always happy to help. Thanks.